Welcome back, action figure fans. We're going to be looking at 10 more random action figures, 5 good guys and 5 bad guys. So today we got some Marvel Selects and some Marvel Legends. All right. So there they are. Let's go ahead and start right over here. Marvel Select Hulkbuster. Ironically, this is actually a little bit small, I believe. Marvel Selects usually makes very large action figures. This one is on the smaller side, I think, for a Hulkbuster. I think the Marvel Legends is actually even bigger than this one. But I really like the color scheme on this. The paint job looks really, really good. And it is a good Hulkbuster. I think that if they had just made it a couple inches bigger, it would be just about perfect. But as is, it is a good-looking Hulkbuster. And it's good to have with your collection of various Iron Man figures. Okay, another Marvel Selects is Groot. I like the size of this one. He's very, very tall. And I think that he is actually better than the Marvel Legends version for his size. I think they're a little bit smaller than him, a little bit skinnier. I like the face on this one a whole lot. He's not really smiling or anything like that. That is a really, really good Groot figure. The sculpting on there is just really well done. And I think this is one of the best, if not the best, Groot figure that Marvel has put out. Very, very well done. So, like I said, look at him in comparison to the Marvel Legends right there, the Valkyrie. So, good size on him. Okay, so the Valkyrie. This is the only Valkyrie figure I think they've made. This came out with a 2-pack with the Hulk. It was a Toys R Us exclusive many, many years ago. Of course, she is an Asgardian. In the movie, they made her a black girl, a black lady. But in the comic books, she was a white blonde lady. And she was a member of the Defenders super team. They called it actually a non-team. And I really, really like those old comic books, those old Defenders. Of course, the core members are Doctor Strange, Namor, the Submariner, Silver Surfer, and the Hulk. And then they had some other characters come and go. But that's a good Valkyrie figure. Stands up over the time, and it's the only one they've made so far. Okay, one of the best Marvel Select figures that they have made. Just the scale of this guy. It's amazing. So you should consider this one to be like a first appearance, the Hulk. Just the way they have sculpted him and his proportions. This is what he looked like when he first appeared way back in 1962. The comic said, is he man or monster or both? Of course, he's a Jekyll and Hyde type of character. Banner always has been. And this is a fantastic figure. He's like 5 pounds too, man. This is a Selects at its best, putting out these just massive figures. Not super articulated. I wish they had a hand with he had a fist. That's my only gripe with that one. And so when the Hulk first appeared, he was gray. Most people don't even know that, but in issue number 1, the Hulk was gray. And after issue number 1, the printer came back to Marvel and they said, we can't keep the color consistent. Sometimes on one panel, he's really light gray. Another panel, he's really super dark, almost black. So they basically told Marvel to please pick a different color for this character. And so Stan Lee said, okay, we'll make him green. So in issue number 2, the Hulk was green. And from, most of the time from thereafter, he was green. But issue number 1, the Hulk is gray. So I actually bought 2 of those and I painted one gray. That's why I have a gray one. They did not make one, but I wanted one to give props to issue number 1 of the Hulk, and I just wanted a gray version. So I painted him up with gray paint, and he looks pretty good. Okay, the last of the bad guys, we've had all these big figures, is a really small one. A Marvel Legends Peter Porker Spider-Ham. And there he is in all his glory. A cute little figure. I have several Spider-Hams, and this is probably my favorite one. He is articulated. He does move at the arms, the waist, his head. And he's a nice little figure to have on your shelves. Okay, moving on to another Marvel Selects. The Awesome Destroyer. This is a great figure. This is one that I would say is perfect. I mean, it is perfect. It looks just like it does in the comics. Everything about it is spot on. The size, the proportions. It is just, this is an amazing figure. I give this a 10 out of 10. I would say this is perfect. Marvel Legends put out one very, very similar to this recently, but it doesn't top the Marvel Selects. I think that that's better. And they did come with an Odin head, and so I do have one where I swapped it out with an Odin head on there, and it looks pretty cool too. So the Destroyer, very, very powerful character. Can definitely give Thor a run for his money. Okay, over to Marvel Legends again. Here we have a very, very well done Venom. He's not huge, he's not bulky, but it's a very well done Venom figure. I really like the face sculpt on this particular Venom. This looks just like the face back in, I don't know, 1989 where it first came out, 88, somewhere in there. And that's a really well done Venom figure. This did come with an Eddie Brock head as well. I like this head better. And so there you go. I have quite a few Venom figures. This is not my favorite, but it is a good representation of Venom. And he was better as a villain. Once again, he's fallen into that trap where he became so popular that Marvel decided to try to make him just a good guy or a semi-good guy. And I think that's a shame. We need to have some really good villains. So anyway, here is one I never thought they would make. Very crazy character, minor character. He's called the Orb, and you can see why. He was some kind of motorcycle gang leader. The only thing I can think of is he was in issue of Ghost Rider. I think he may have appeared in one called The Fly. I'm not quite sure. But you got to say, I mean, this guy is very colorful. I really, really like the colors on this guy. I never thought that we would be getting an Orb figure. And so I really like Marvel when they put out figures like this, some obscure character. Instead of having 70 or 80 Spider-Man or 70 or 80 Wolverine, it's always nice to get some of these other characters to fill out your collection. And they just look really, really good on the shelf. This one looks really good on the shelf. I like him a lot. The Orb. Okay, so the next one I have over here is the Green Goblin. Now, I have this one hanging from my ceiling. So I have him, have this little tack and fishing line on his neck here. Don't let that bother you, hopefully. So this is a Marvel Selects from way, way, way back. And he came with, I think, a package with a Peter Parker figure. But it's really good. I mean, the face sculpt on this guy, that is a really, really good Goblin. Not very articulated at all. But it's got a really good sculpt on it. And when he's hanging from your ceiling, he looks really, really cool. Obviously, Marvel Legends has done some better Green Goblin figures than this one. But hey, he looks good. And I do like the Goblin glider on this one quite a bit. So I'll go ahead and buy this guy if you can on eBay. hang him up from your ceiling, let him dangle, and he looks really good. So there he is. Okay, one of the best Build-A-Figures in the last several years, in my humble opinion, is this Sauron. I mean, he's huge. Look at that wingspan on him. And wow, what a figure. What a sculpt on his face. You can close his mouth if you want to. And this is close to perfect, I think. This is another one, man, that they just took it right off the pages of the comic book. And he looks fantastic. The wings are just really well done, I think. It's nice to have that tail back there to help prop him up. So, of course, he's an X-Men villain. And he's got a power he can hypnotize you. And, of course, I think he either sucks your life force or he robs you of your powers. I can't quite remember. But he's a cool villain. And he definitely looks very cool on your shelf. All right, guys. There you go. 10 more random action figures pulled off my shelves. Some amazing Marvel Legends. And some amazing Marvel Selects. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and watch my other ones, please. All right, take care.